All right. Welcome, everybody that will probably watch later. I'm Spider of Crescendo Games, also known as Nathan, and I've got James and Fig here today. James is one half of the ReReading Wolfe podcast, and Fig is his daughter, who very graciously agreed to come on and play with us. You guys want to give further introductions to yourselves? Go for it.
What more is there to say? I'm half of a podcast that reads through a single book, chapter by chapter, with sentence by sentence, and tries to understand it.
Word by word, syllable by syllable. Sometimes
That's true.
I love how dense Wolfe is, and yet sometimes it's infuriating. Sometimes.
Well, that's the whole point. It enables rereading and to be able to enjoy it better the second time.
Oh, absolutely. So, Fig, if you want to add anything,
I'm an artist and a traveler, and I'm very well versed in tabletop RPGs. I love
what have you got?
And tabletop RPGs probably more than him, so I'm here to represent that part.
Awesome. Hey, what's your favorite system before coming on to this?
To be honest, just D&D, because I played 3.5 and I've played 5th edition. I've just been doing it for so long. A lot of people have moved on to Pathfinder, which there's nothing wrong with that system. It's just, one of these. And one of these is just much easier to jump into than the other, in my opinion, just in terms of finding people to play with, finding places to play. One of these is just easier overall than the other.
Absolutely.
Although I like Call of Cthulhu as well. I love horror, especially. So
yeah. If you ever, at some point, if you like fantasy and horror, I really recommend checking out the game Trophy.
I've never heard of it.
Trophy is an interesting game. Trophy is a fantasy horror, and the setup is you are. It's like D&D. Imagine if D&D was a horror game.
Okay.
And that's kind of the vibe. So like you've gone into the forest to go get, to go get treasure. But Trophy isn't named for what you take out of the forest. Trophy is named you are the trophy. And so like the game gets its claws in your characters, and it's one of the few rule systems I've played that's light but doesn't feel anemic, if that makes any sense. It doesn't feel incomplete. It has I actually at one point had the joy of talking to Jesse, the guy who designed it. Lovely individual. But it's a very funny, dark game. It does not look like it's funny until you're like neck deep in it, and you realize that like your guy has like sprouted these like odd wings out of his back, and he's going to use them to drop his supposed best friend from 50 feet up, and everyone is just laughing hysterically because
I mean, you should have funny in the scary.
Oh yeah, and it's definitely both. So I don't know. It's just something for later, if that's something that interests you.
Later on, we could definitely play some more games.
We
could get something started.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds awesome. Trophy comes in 2 different versions, Dark and Gold. Dark is a one-shot, and it is like, oh man, it's something. It's really something.
It's intense, right?
Oh man, yeah, it's very, very intense. Whereas Gold is like an OSR horror, so like it's a very dungeon delvey thing. Anyway, that's just kind of what came off the top of my head. So now that we've completely gone down that rabbit hole within the first 5 minutes, so today we're going to be trying out the quick start guide of Crescendo. This game is very unabashedly designed to replicate the feeling of Gene Wolfe.
Which is?
Well, see, that's kind of the interesting thing, right?
I made a joke before this. The vibe is, of course, NPCs coming in and doing nothing, then leaving, correct?
Well, that's maybe a very
and
reduction.
you have 200 NPCs prepared for this?
No, I really don't.
Well, one thing people ask me, what is about? I said I point out that when I was reading one of Wolfe's novels, first time, my wife said, "Wow, you sure are spending a lot of time on that book." And I said, "Yeah, is it good? Oh yeah, it really is. But what's it about?" I said, "Well, that's kind of why you read a Gene Wolfe
Yeah,
novel."
right. I mean, one of my favorite books of his is An Evil Guest.
Mm-hmm.
I've read it twice.
Oh, great! I love Evil Guest.
I have no idea why I love it. I still don't know. I have no idea. It drives me up the wall. I'm like sitting there going, "Why do I love this book?" Seriously.
Well, the thing is, it feels like a world that is well inhabited,
mm-hmm.
but like it's like a start of a whole series where he would go into a normal writer would go into this whole world that he had created.
Yep.
And some of the things that he said shortly after the book was published made me think in some way that would be impossible. He always said, because it seemed to me that the protagonist's end is kind of open-ended. Like, oh, who knows what she's going to have to do next.
Right.
He always said, I was so sad when I finished this with the novel because I would never be able to sit with Cassie again. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because
that's kind of hell. There's obviously a circular vibe there, but it's hard to determine exactly what that circular vibe, that circular story is.
Yeah. No, I mean that's like Crescendo has a very part of what I had to figure out when I was designing the game because like obviously there's all this comment, there's all these people with all their theories, and I had to figure out what to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can either go with doing the overly... Okay, I don't actually think Wolfe is half as complicated as people say he is. I don't think he is. I think he's actually I think he obfuscates, but I don't think he's complicated. I think that there's several layers down, and he just doesn't tell you them. He just kind of indicates it, just as like a...
Yeah, I think things that don't matter, he doesn't think about. If someone asked, well, why did Typhon launch the world? It's a big reference to a novel, and
sure,
because I think Typhon would have any number of reasons. So,
right? Oh yeah,
why he did
all
that?
Sorts
he
of
think about that. Yeah.
So,
but
how much of this is any of this, one-to-one?
What do you mean by that? Let me make sure I understand the question.
The world that we're in. How much?
The world is mine.
Yeah.
The world's mine. It's the mechanics that are, the mechanics are what I focused on, because I am of the mind that that gameplay is story. Mm-hmm. So as you're playing, it should like the story in your head and what's happening in the game should be very, very, very close. And so I come from the more story game tradition of RPGs, especially Burning Wheel. And so a lot of my ideas come from a more player-driven perspective. As you guys are about to find out in a minute, this whole thing's about to go off the rails. There aren't rails. Well, there are rails insofar as when you look down at your beliefs and whatever. But what I wanted to get, I wanted that feeling of this very, very, very concentrated psychological, spiritual journey running into a world that on its face made no sense at all.
No, I've played Burning Wheel before.
Okay.
But obviously it's not easy to get into. Is it fair to say that this game is a just a that a vibe of a larger world, just like Burning Wheel has, but it's like you mentioned, it's a quick start. So it's
Right.
something that you can just jump into without having to read an entire novel.
Right. Yes. Burning Wheel very, very strongly influenced this game. Excuse me. But if you've played Burning Wheel before, you will start to recognize this game.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I jump off and go, but this is not Burning Wheel, you will go, wait a minute. What just happened? Like there's a very there's a moment up until a moment it looks like Burning Wheel, and like I've had Burning Wheel players, one of whom actually plays with me quite a bit. When he first played, he went, "What the hell have you done? What is this? This is not Burning Wheel." I'm like, no, it is not. So at the center of everybody's characters are the beliefs. A belief is like an ideal. In the game, it is an incident and a conclusion based upon that incident that your character is willing to burn the world down for. Like, these are not like, oh, I think, this is the stuff that, you're willing to take the world to the wood chipper over. It's like, no, I really do think this, and I am more than willing to, make it unpleasant for everybody else in order to follow up on this. So this is so nice. Burning Wheel. So like certain parts of this are just gonna click. So similar to Burning Wheel, we're gonna start by presenting a situation which challenges your players' beliefs. You guys act upon those beliefs, and then we start to respond. And the narrative kind of builds out and billows out from there. The game is very, very much centered around the beliefs. You guys have traits. Traits are how your character does things. So, like, for instance, I'm holding up my phone and looking at beliefs while I'm going. So, like, if we were to look at Warlord Bastion has things, about wanting to build more than a horde, and that a horde has to take care of its own. But he's jaded. And he's brutal. Like, how does a jaded and brutal person, how does he act upon those things? How does he act? I mean, because these are very deliberately noble sounding ideals. Like, this is a character that has come to his conclusions about how he wants the world to go, but he's jaded. So, James, who has very kindly volunteered to play Warlord Bastion, will have to figure out how he's going to do that, because the success of your play, the success of your narration, will depend upon how closely you cleave to these things, to the beliefs and the traits.
So
and
are we rewarded by acting in character, or punished, or?
So your actions are more in this game. You decide when you roll. I do not decide when you roll.
Okay.
You will tell me things, and if it's more or less, if it's not openly absurd, right? So, like, if Warlord Bastion was facing down, I don't know, like a gigantic hill creature, it's like, I'm going to charge it with my sword because it's in my beliefs that I got to protect the horde. I'm going to look at you and go, you don't have anything to fight. No. I'm going to kill you. Like, obviously, if it's not absurd like that, as long as it respects the world, you're generally going to succeed. So the harder you play into your beliefs and traits, the more successful you will be up until a point. At a certain point, though, that's going to get you in trouble, because you're going to start picking fights that get more and more like, really? You're going there? And if you don't like what I'm saying, if you don't like my response, if you don't like my judgments, you can defy. You pick up the dice and you go, no, I want this. This is happening. I want it. And you can do that for literally anything. The two of you can be, if Fig is in the middle of doing something and James goes, no, absolutely not. I can't have, no, stop that. Pick up the dice, challenge each other, defy each other.
So I guess is there anything else that we need to know before we just sort of jump in?
No, not particularly. I also happen to ramble, so I mean, it's just kind of the like, just as you play, stick to your beliefs and your traits. Try to stick to the general concept of the character, and at some point, you'll probably get to a degree where you go, nope, no, I can't let you do that. There's conditions. You don't want to get conditions. Conditions are bad. They start narrowing what your character can do. So, like, for instance, if I give you the angry condition and if you try to give a calm response, I'm just going to tell you no. I'm going to go, no, that doesn't work. You don't have the, you don't have the ability to, you're angry. You can't do that because you're angry. So just things like that. So like conditions will start to narrow down your ability to do things, and it'll start, my responses will get sharper and more, beyond that. Hey Noir. And yeah, I can never, so this is actually one of my players is commenting right now. I can never pronounce the name. This is my first time. This is actually his player character in one of our games. I've never actually seen that name spelled out. Malviente. Well, that's why I can't do it. That makes sense. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to go full Wolf. So this is just going to be weird. Like most of the time, I kind of play with the kid gloves on, because if I go full weird, everybody goes, what?
Yeah.
But no, we have one of the people from ReReading Wolfe, and we have his daughter. So I have no issue with just being weird.
I would say just a show. Yeah. Let's see how it happens.
All right, cool. So we're gonna set this up. Warlord Bastion is with his horde. Princess Genevieve, who Fig is playing, is hundreds of miles away in her castle.
Okay.
It's about midnight. Princess Genevieve, you are asleep. Warlord Bastion is not asleep, because we're going to start our little cuts back and forth. Warlord Bastion, you were asleep. Someone has awakened you to let you know that the nearby town that you were kind of like staking out, because you're a horde,
right?
Is being attacked by King Julian, who you think is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And they have declared. Yep. So you've been awakened to that. I'm going to jump over and just pitch the situation that Princess Genevieve is having, and then we're going to start alternating back and forth.
Okay.
And we'll see how things start to coalesce.
All right.
So for Princess Genevieve, she's asleep, but you start to have this dream. It's an eerily sharp dream. It's not fuzzy. You know how most dreams are kind of like when you wake up and you're kind of like, oh, I can see, the fuzzy. No, there's no fuzzy logic here. You are standing on a hilltop, and you are seeing a city burn. It's a small city that's burning. And you realize as you look to your left that your father, King Julian, is standing there, watching the city burn. One of the lower, one of the common foot soldiers runs up to him and says, Your Majesty, we have begun our attack. And your father says, good, destroy it all. And when you look over, you see your nation's flag floating in the breeze as it's getting torn down.
The nation that my father rules?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Um.
So which one of you wants to go first?
Well, it'd be sure it's me. I'm going to tell my commander. I'm going to rally my troops to see if there's anything I can do to ameliorate the situation. I won't interfere with the king, but I won't. But perhaps there'll be survivors that I can help.
I'd like to. Oh, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, go on. No, you're good.
I'd like to roll cunning to discern whether this is a dream or a prophecy or something else.
Here's our first little fun part. What's your cunning at? Your cunning,
D6.
I think.
D6.
D6. Okay, so what you're looking at on your you don't need to roll. This is where things get kind of interesting. So in the game, you just narrate and you go, hey, these are kind of my stats. This is kind of what I'm at. And I provide responses based upon the strength of the dice. So a D4 is the human average. When you're looking at your stats, D4 is straight across the board. It's what you would expect of an average human being.
Okay. Do I need? Will there ever be a point where I roll?
Yes. If you don't like what I say, you can defy it.
Okay.
So
go ahead then.
So with a D6 cunning, you would figure out pretty quickly. It would take a little. Let me think. An average person would probably never figure out that this is a vision, but you're above average. You're smarter than the average bear. So it takes you a minute, because this is weird. But you realize you are asleep.
Why? I last was drinking wine in that castle that's burning. I am certain this is a dream. I don't remember walking over here and then burning the castle. I would have. I certainly would have.
Your father kind of starts. He looks directly at you, and you see that he does not see you.
Oh, so I think she'll try and sort of shake him a bit.
Your hands go through him. He shivers.
Egad.
This is uncanny.
Yeah, he says it's drafty out here tonight as he looks down on all the people burning in the nearby city.
I'm unconcerned with the burning people, but I do want to see if I'm the only one here. Is there? I think she would hold her hand up towards him and try and see if there's a difference. Is he more translucent? Can she look around and see anyone acting different? I think that's all the action that she would take up until a certain point.
You can't see through yourself, but no one is reacting to you.
Okay.
They don't necessarily see you. However, when you touched him, he did react. He just didn't know what to do.
Do you have some kind of dream casting? Are you astral playing on the world? That would be a useful skill. I don't know.
It's only expected of a princess.
all princesses have this ability.
I mean, we certainly do have a cognizance above the common man at the very least, and an intelligence, a breed.
I see someone found that classist trait and really liked it. Excuse me, sorry. All
right, well, I mean, maybe we could go over to you in that case, because I'm not sure if she would have any other actions for a minute.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be mustering my troops to stand
in this
outside.
Dream.
Well, I'm not dreaming.
He's not dreaming. He's not dreaming.
I'm awake. You're asleep.
Yeah. we rest.
Some of us just can't sit around, Princess. We can't. We don't get to sleep. We have to go out and do some things.
It's really more of a gift I give to my underlings.
Yeah.
That I allow them to act of their own accord.
Boy, thanks a lot, Sleepyhead. I'm mustering all my troops and I'm heading out to the village, basically to stand up on a hillside and watch it burn.
I mean, it is. Yeah, you go out there. Obviously, it doesn't take very much to figure out, where the king is. It doesn't take that much. I mean, it's not exactly hard to figure out. The only real question the outriders ask as they're, before they go out and do more scouting, how close they're allowed to get before they pull back, because there's a certain degree of, he has his scouts, you have yours. What's the engagement rules here?
Don't get closer than a quarter of a mile away. And I'm gonna take some men and ride and talk to the king and see if I can determine why all of this is happening.
Okay, all right, cool. So you guys are riding out. It's probably like about, I'd say you're about an hour and a half out. So it takes a minute of riding to get there, because you're not stupid. You're not just gonna be right up on top of them. By the time you get to an engagement distance of any kind, your scouts have come back because you gave them the good wolves, to do their running. And they come back and they declare that he is indeed attacking the city. And he seems to be killing indiscriminately. There doesn't seem to be a rhyme or a reason to what he's doing. He's just hacking in. There's no, you're not there. Orcs are not generally considered a gentle race, but they do have their own lines as well. I mean, like any other sapient species, they're going to have issues with just wholesale slaughter. Right. Because, I mean, for the orcs, it's more a question of why. Why would you do
Exactly.
Another race, sure, but your own.
Right.
So they're pretty orcs are not easy to disturb, but they're not when they come back to you, they're not necessarily traumatized, but they are disturbed and puzzled. They're like,
I'll have my wolves and my cavalry go straight up to the city and park in front and allow anyone fleeing the village to retreat behind our lines.
Okay. All right. So you're kind of watching that. That's when things start to get kind of interesting, and you see this as well, Princess Genevieve. You see the wolves come up, and people don't run towards them at first, but eventually someone just runs that way because they're being chased by people with swords, and it's either the wolf or the sword. And
so I think at this point she's starting to put together that this is not just a vision, that this is not only is it not a dream, but it's also imminently happening.
Yes.
So she's so I would like to use prayer to pray to my guardian angel.
Okay.
And protect the people whom my family is sworn to rule.
Okay, cool. So the good news is that, the interesting news is that prayer is a magical skill. Magical skills are always a defy, right? Just right off the bat, they're always a defy. So you have to roll, because that's just one of those little things. So the way this works, I pick one of your stats. I tell you which stat to roll. you pick stat, you pick a skill, you already picked prayer, and then you pick an item, which usually grants a D4. You would then tell me why your narration justifies you picking the top two instead of the bottom two.
What do you mean by top two versus bottom two?
We'll get to that in a minute then. So for the moment,
the item that I'd like to choose is my signet ring instead of my prayer book.
Okay, all right.
This is really more of a this is more fueled by duty.
Okay, sure. So that's a D4. So grab a D4 and put it in front of you. All right. Prayer should be at a D8. I can't remember right now.
My prayer is at a D4.
Okay, it's at a D4. So you need another D4.
That's weak.
It's average.
Commoner. I'll hear this.
And then I would think so. And then I pick a stat. I would think that would be willful. I don't know what size that is off the top of my head, but
willful is D6.
Okay, so you have two D4s and a D6.
Excellent.
So you roll them.
This way. We have a 4. We have a 4, and we have a 2.
Okay. Why do you think inside of the narration that you've given so far, why should you get the top 2 results as opposed to the bottom 2? Higher is better.
Because my top 2 results are the signet ring and the prayer. This is not about my personal will. This is truly just about what needs to be done. She's using her she's praying, to her guardian angel, which comes from her family.
And, sure, yeah.
And fights for what should be, not whether something is right or wrong. And so she's in her mind. I think she should have the 2 D4s because they are 2 things that stand for what is right, and what
the sincerity. The sincerity is what her sincerity in the prayer is pure.
Right. It's not about the will. It's not about wanting. It's just about what absolutely should be.
Awesome. That works for me. The DC, from here on out, if you guys are wondering what the difficulty number is, the difficulty number is 7. So just if you're ever sitting there like, I wonder what the, unless you get conditions, conditions make that number higher, but the default number is 7.
Okay. So 4 plus 4 equals 8?
Yep. So
you
get what you want.
If you'd gone 6, it would have been bad.
Right, exactly. So you pray, and when that happens, there is a bright blue flash above the city. So it's blind. Just even you don't have physical eyes when you're looking at it, so you don't get blinded. But everybody else, including Warlord Bastion over there, is like, "Oh, what? Wait, what the heck is that?"
No need to thank me, peasants.
And this big
we all walk our wolves back away from the villages.
Wait a minute. This big buff dude with just imagine what your normal angel looks like, comes down, and everybody, all these peoples, just start running towards it. So now that we've got that, we are going to do something called hitting the books, and this is actually the central mechanic of the game. This is the center that everything has been built around. Grab your journals, which for you guys are your paper, and for me are my lovely honking big thing.
That's my backstory.
Yep, backstory included. Grab it.
Okay.
Grab your backstory. Grab the thing that says all journals, whatever it is. Grab it. Get it together.
Okay.
I have the journal right here, and my.
Okay.
Okay. Pick a random page from that. Just pick one. Doesn't matter. Just pick one. close your eyes, put a finger down. If it's blank, like what I just landed on because I'm stupid, find something else.
You wrote it.
I know, but I opened up my notebook and went down. Wait a minute. I'm on a blank. And so one at a time, whoever wants to go first, you read aloud
From the line or from the word?
From whatever makes sense to you.
Okay. Then had a servant wash a blanket.
Okay. Blanket, washing. All right, James, go.
Came into the slums where I picked pockets.
Okay. Thievery. Okay. I landed on Mayor Everett is right next to you, trying to calm the mob. So these are our three things. I then take that and I come up with a twist based upon that, upon all the information that we just did.
This is a great deal of work on the GM.
Yeah, it's not much more complicated than rolling a random table. Rolling a random it's a little bit more complicated than that, but not by much.
Mm-hmm.
So you have these three things, and then I'm going to tell you what it is. You then write down in your journal your character's impression of those events, which then feeds into the next.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm rather proud of it. So, you just write a short little bullet point from your character's perspective. So what I'm going to say, is that, when the angel comes down, and of course it's an angel. It's a biblically accurate angel.
Oh.
This is not the most calming thing that anyone has ever seen in their life.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you people wanted results.
Exactly. So when that happens, your Warlord Bastion's wolves panic. The orcs and the trolls that are with him panic, and they run accidentally directly into King Julian's army, and everybody's milling about and starting to kill each other because they're panicking. And when you see an ogre running at you, screaming in fear, you generally either run or you draw your sword.
I tell men, I draw my sword. All my men who see me draw their swords.
So that's the event. Everyone panics. The two forces join up. So write your character's perspective on that. If you want to read it out loud and share it, you can, but you don't have to. And sometimes people actually deliberately hold back what they've written because they want to save it for a different point in time. And you see people realize that character perspective and lying are not that different from each other. Sometimes.
So essentially, the angel has encouraged the chaos.
No, the angel showed up and everybody else flipped out. Oh. So it shifted. So like he's trying to protect the people coming to him, but everybody else is like,
oh, I see.
You know, like he hasn't been like the angel is focusing on taking care of the people that are coming to him. Oh, everybody else has.
What's
everyone
the
else is flipping.
I'm not sure if I understand the difference between the people coming to the angel and the people who aren't.
Well, I mean, there's the army of the orcs. There's the army of King Julian. Like those people are panicking.
And then all the people who are all the victims are essentially being protected.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Essentially, but it started this unexpected side thing that, you know.
Well, I've decided that trying to accommodate King Julian is no longer possible. We're going to be enemies from now on, and so I have to act on that assumption.
I mean, he is killing his own people, and you did catch
him
doing
killing my people as well. So, yeah, it's all. it's all in the open now.
All of it. So what do you want to do with that? Because everybody is panicked. They're not, like, you notice you're watching this, Warlord Bastion. This isn't fighting. This isn't war. This is panic.
Well, whatever, all the other troops I have with me, I'm commanding them to go down and slaughter King Julian's army.
Okay, down they go. That war is the battle is starting up on Princess Genevieve's end. You notice that, well, there's a whole bunch of wolves and orcs coming directly at your father's forces, and everyone, everyone's shouting out, there's this, there's this force coming out of, basically left field. We didn't know they were there. And your father is like, where did they come from? Pull back, because he had his plan, and, well, it's all going up in smoke. Is there anything you want to do while that's coming in?
So to be clear, I'm sleeping, and I'm sleeping in the castle that's burning, or am I somewhere else?
Way away.
Okay.
Way away. Way.
How long has he been gone?
Oh, he had gone weeks ago to supposedly,
and I had no idea what he was doing.
You're hundreds of miles away.
Right. He told you that he was out to
was
settle. Yeah, I mean, he said he was out to settle a border dispute.
Oh, okay.
Not,
it seems to be working.
Right? Not necessarily to attack his own people.
I feel like I'm helpless now. I don't even have a physical body.
Sure. But, you have some ability to affect things, but you're not.
Not in the same way as a person riding a wolf, for example.
Right.
I think I'm going to go to my guardian angel and try to speak to him.
He looks down at you and he says, "Hello, my child. How are you?" He says with kind of a bit of a dry humor.
Doing well, and you?
Watching the downfall of your house. He says with sadness.
We have this in common.
Unfortunately.
I think she sort of raises her signet ring and looks at it, and then she asks him, "So, how do I say that?"
He says, "Well, your father has made up his mind about many things. However, the one man who may be able to help you is unfortunately engaging with a much larger force in the middle of the night and may not live. Your father commands forces that you do not understand, and if I told you about them, you wouldn't believe me. So I recommend that you go find Warlord Bastion and you get him to, well, you would be able to talk with him, and you may be able to convince him to get out of here before far darker things than either of you would like to think about get called upon."
Is there any way to save this place?
He looks over and he says, maybe if Warlord Bastion would focus on that, it's possible. I don't know the future, unfortunately.
What should I tell him? Should I tell him to stay, or should I tell him to go?
He thinks about that. He says, "I think if you appeal to his better nature, you may find a steady ally in whatever he does."
Okay. Well, have I ever met him, or do I see him, or do I know what he would look like?
You have heard his description. He generally stands as a rather tall, imposing figure that looks like, well, he's a human with his nose that's been lopped off.
Pretty.
Some would wear a prosthetic.
He doesn't. He's
I don't have
generally
that
pretty...
among my inventory. I'm sorry.
No
You
prosthetic
should
nose.
use your income a little more wisely.
It's actually a bonus. It's in my own particular society.
Look at how badass this guy is. He doesn't have a nose. He's pretty easy to pick out. He's the big tall-haired human. He's the big human without a nose that everyone else.
Do I see him immediately, or will it take me time to go find him?
It would take you a few minutes, but it won't take you as long as you think because he's coming.
Okay. I guess I suppose I'll go look for him then.
So we're going to jump over to Warlord Bastion, who so far has had kind of this interesting, like, tactical consideration. The question that has been put forward to you at the moment is, what do we do about the big buff guy with the wings? Because he's not bothering us, but he's big and he's buff, and his sword is only slightly larger than a Clydesdale.
Well, he doesn't seem to be threatening me, and so
which is saying something because many people are.
So at this moment, I'm mostly concerned with the fact that the king's army is attacking my people, and I just need to gather a tactical situation to make sure that we aren't slaughtered. So
let's take a look at your skills. So one of the things that I do as part of this game, a lot of the assumptions of normal RPGs, Fig, do not apply here.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't. I just take a look at your stats and skills and I go, you're above average, you're below average. Here's generally your response. And if you don't like that, you roll. Yeah. That's kind of how that goes. So here, you've got leadership and tactics. They're both above average.
I'm better at chopping things than leading things.
You're amazing at chopping things. You're better than average at leading and figuring things out. So you're not bad. Matter of fact, you're better than good. You're actually good at it. You're legitimately good at it. You're looking at this. Something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right to you. Because you're looking at the situation, right? These guys came in the middle of the night to a border town and attacked it. They're attacking women and children indiscriminately. There is no tactical reason for what he's doing. Nothing. There's no moment where you're looking at this as a leader and as a tactician and you're thinking, yeah, this adds up. None of this adds up. This guy shouldn't be here. It's a border town. If he was going to sack one of his own places, he'd be, not here. He'd be...
Why? Is there any, are there any sub-commanders in this, in the army I'm attacking?
Oh, yeah. And you notice them very quickly. They're not at the front. It's not that they're cowards. You fought these people before. They're not cowards. But the commanders are not at the front. Their people are coming forward like they're pawns, not like they're being led.
So the people, so the troops seem to be acting on their own, basically.
No, it's much worse. The leaders are not getting involved. They're not trying to stop their soldiers. They're letting them do it. They're letting them go into this area, and they are not going themselves.
We're going to retreat as they approach. We're going to retreat within the village for better protection.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know. Once we're in there, maybe this big winged thing with all the eyes will protect us.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, because like there's something isn't quite, like you're looking at this situation and it's not adding up.
I think as he's approaching, she's also progressing to meet him.
Okay, so, let's have you two meet up.
I think she would assume that he couldn't see her, even though he's told that he might be able to interact with her. She doesn't know exactly quite what that means.
Sure.
So she would treat him as though she would treat it as though it was the worst case scenario.
Sure. Yeah.
Would want to, as soon as she lays eyes on him, I think she would want to try and jump up onto his wolf.
When you do that, the wolf freaks out.
Oh, so she successfully kind of like, woo!
Oh yeah, no, I mean like let me see. Do you even have? So you don't have any especially high. You don't have a skill when it comes to riding the darn thing, because I only had 5 to pick, and it's a quick start, and I hadn't thought of that.
I did some horseback riding.
No. I'm talking about Bastion. The wolf bucks.
Yeah,
the wolf's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't have any like animal handling course. I'm not a rodeo. I don't have
off.
Nothing in my backstory says anything about rodeo.
Well, I'm on the wolf behind him, and I'm sort of I have him by the around the torso.
Oh, okay, that's even better. You're very cold all of a sudden. Like, there's a freaking town burning down about a quarter mile away, if not closer. So the heat's pretty, it's a pretty warm night. And all of a sudden, there's this feeling, like this cold tingle goes right up your spine. And
am I still on the wolf, or am I on the ground?
No, she's keeping you on.
Oh, okay.
You should be off. You're not.
Stupid wolf.
The wolf is just panicking. The wolf is just like, it's howling, it's screeching. Everyone else is looking like, your lieutenants.
Well, I'll see if I can direct him. If he's going to panic, I'm going to see if he can run toward the village, and at least that's the right direction.
I think with him bucking, she's also going to take the reins from behind if she can reach them.
You sure. Imagine that someone's grabbing the reins.
Stupid reins.
Just having this image, like I'm looking through Warlord Bastion's eyes, and all of a sudden, like the reins pick up.
I'm bewitched.
If she speaks, will he hear her? I think she's going to basically, with the reins, do her best to guide towards the angel. Just sort of keep regular course.
I like
that.
And
then she's going to say, no, not the way, towards Atu.
Oh, I am nimble. I'm average nimble. So,
well, you're able to, like, now that the wolf's being directed, the wolf turns and does not go toward the village. It goes towards the angel, and you hear a very, very, very quiet, like it takes you a second, but you realize that you might be hearing someone saying, "Go towards Atu."
It's haunted.
Yeah, where'd you get those reins from? Who died?
Clearly, King Julian's been dealing with some pretty sinister people, and
about that.
So I think, I think she would wait for him to respond, because she has no idea how much he can even interact with her.
I say,
right.
Well, then give me the reins, spirit.
I let him have the reins.
The reins are plopped in your hand, very obligingly.
I'll lead my men toward the angel.
the closer you get, the more you realize that the coldness is starting to become solid, and you can kind of see these semi-transparent arms wrapped around you. You almost have a scent in your nose now. Your chopped off nose. You almost have one.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I hear you, spirit.
No spirits. I'm your princess.
Your princess. Oh, that's a claim. That's a claim I'd like to see explored in the next however long.
This whether this place stays or goes is completely up to you and me. And who will rule it? We must decide now.
Well, we can't have Julian anymore. That's all I know. Do you stand with me, spirit?
I do.
Spirit princess.
I think the truth is that what the angel said was completely factual. My father is burning down not only this border town, not only his people, but he's essentially burning our right to rule, our lineage, our trust. He's burning down the soldiers who would follow us. So therefore, our power. No part of this is after if things continue to go as they are, then it's more than just a small dispute. It's
There's something wrong.
Yeah. The everything town on this border, everything within my own borders is it's up for question. And I can no longer trust my own army. I must find a new one.
Well, I mean, an orc horde isn't exactly the best one to pick, but beggars, beggars and choosers.
I must differ with that. It's probably the best you could have.
So, as we're going, we're gonna start talking conditions, because getting closer to an angel is usually known as a suicidally stupid move. Because
we'll tell that to all the villagers,
right? Well, it's inviting them and they're coming, but it didn't there's this they're afraid. And so I am saying, unless you can part of what makes this game interesting is that if you can justify it to a certain degree, it stands. So this is very much a game where what you say is what counts, if that makes any sense. I don't know how to communicate that terribly well right now in my incredibly sleep-deprived state.
Well, I got a question. Does Julian's army follow us? Or
do they follow you? No, actually they don't. They do not. They don't get any closer to the angel.
Well, I mean, even though we're orcs, we're clearly fighting on against whatever is the antithesis of this angel. And
right.
So I don't anticipate that we'll be treated with hostility. Not that I would think about that.
No, but it's kind of an interesting, so you get closer and you realize, and this thing, the closer you get, the more solid those arms around you get, and you start to feel like someone is actually holding on to you. It's kind of a weird tingly feeling, because when you look behind you, you don't necessarily see much, but there's clearly someone holding on to you, which is lovely. So when you get there, the angel says to the two of you, because by the time you get there, you can kind of see her, and you know that this is Princess Genevieve by now. You've heard of her. You know of her. The fact that she's talking the way she's talking, you're not stupid. It's not it's weird, but it's not, but you're not stupid.
I've heard of witch princesses before, so.
Really less witchery and more right to of betterment.
I don't have my
I'm of a
thesaurus with me,
higher
princess.
level
You're
than
just
you,
gonna have
and
to.
that allows me to do more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't have a thesaurus with me, princess, but I pretty much get I get what's going on here.
We prefer magical girl.
Oh man, that gives me Monica flashbacks.
Yes, that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, I'm
We've
still
been
not
streaming
over
for
that
an
show.
hour. Is there a way we can take a 10-minute break for
Sure.
a restroom and
Sure. Absolutely.
1 hour mark?
Yep. Sure. Go for it. Yep.
We'll go to commercial.
Go to commercial. So, yeah, no, absolutely. So that's what we have so far. That's our kind of. I mean, I'm just kind of talking while you guys take your break or whatever it is you want it. So nothing.
Not
so
a problem. I have my catheter on. I don't have to worry about it.
Well, I mean, so that's kind of. We've kind of gone through a lot of, not a lot. We've gone through most of what would be in the quick start as far as like mechanics goes, because the idea of the game is that narration is the gameplay. And so as you're going, people do things and you hit the books and you start to build this odd. What are your impressions so far? I'm just curious as to how this is as to what you think.
No,
so
I like
far.
it that I like it that I am curious how you like design a game for this, because so much of the narration and the plot is so player controlled. I mean, a lot of this behavior are things that a GM would shut down.
Oh yeah, I think so. Part of it is that one of the things that I really enjoy about this kind of game, and Fig has played Burning Wheels, so she kind of, the instant she said she played Burning Wheels, it's like, okay, I've got kind of an idea of what to work with. But the thing that the big thing that I grabbed from Burning Wheel is that the Weaver responds to the players. So the Weaver grabs the beliefs, like you can see where I grabbed everything from the beliefs. I just kind of grab a few things here and there, and then we just go. And if I get stuck, I just look to your beliefs. If I need a twist, I look at your beliefs. If I need to do something, it's like, okay, well, you've got your thing about brutality and this, and so you respond as opposed to reacting. You go, okay, well, I've got all of these principles that the players tell me are important, and I'm going to work with them. And then hitting the books, upsets that paradigm because it introduces new things. Like I had no concept for the two forces fighting. I didn't know. It's not something I would have thought about, but that came up, and it was like, well, these are the pieces on the board, so this is the thing that makes the most sense. So it's very, and someone else who had been weaving would have come up with probably a completely different response, which is perfectly fine. So a lot of it came down. I think the best way to put it is that by the time I got done with I think it was the third read. So I started designing this game because I got to end of Book of the Short Sun. And we've talked. I believe you and I have talked about that before. The ending of Book of the Short Sun about broke me as a person. Silk is someone who I do not like admitting I feel a lot of affinity for. He's one of those characters you're like me personally, I have a very hard time admitting affinity for him. I got to the end of Book of the Short Sun, and something in the back of my head said, I can't leave.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't, whatever this is, I can't.
Well, that's why you go back to the beginning and
Oh no, 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 no.
All
I
over
don't mean
again.
like that. No, not like that. I mean like the Book of the Short Sun was very difficult for me to read as a person
Mm-hmm.
because I knew that once it was done, I could never do it like that again.
That's true.
Everything after that would be a reread. And I got to the end and I just sat there for a very, very, very long time. I've often said that Book of the Short Sun is an old man's book.
Well, it's true.
It's a work about somebody looking back on life and trying to make it.
Yeah, Wolfe
come
was
together.
70 when he finished it. So
No, there you go. I mean, and it was a very at the time I had a lot of reasons to look back, and so when I got done, I knew I couldn't stop, if that makes any sense,
Mhm.
and I knew I wanted to share that, and so I sat down and started to go back through the books and trying to figure out what gave the vibe.
Mhm.
Because I needed it, and I still do. Like, I mean, I've got over there. You can't see it, and it's a computer, so I'm not even going to bother. But over, I have my Wolfe shelf that I
Mhm.
just go through. I just go through it.
Now you've seen mine. So
Yeah, right. And I wanted to share that with people, and I wanted to share that feeling of I have no idea where this is going, but I know where it's been, and I wanted people to have that feeling of wonder, that feeling of fear, that feeling of I don't I I know what this guy is about, but I don't know what's going on at all.
Mm.
I just don't know. And I wanted everybody to feel that. I wanted everyone at the table to have that feeling of, and there was one point I started reading The Wizard Knight after getting most of the design done.
Mhm.
And I was reading The Wizard Knight and I started to be able to place my mechanics in what was going on in The Wizard Knight. And that's when I knew I had done it.
okay.
Because there was stuff going on. I'm like, right here. He's hitting the books right here. Like, this thing is happening, and there's there's a precedent sort of for it, but not quite. And a lot of it came out in playtesting. If you want to, I have a Discord, and if you go through the Discord, you will find that there's like dozens of drafts. I just
Mhm.
rewrote the game dozens of times, literally in the
Well, I've seen
multiple
some
of
of the
dozens.
drafts. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wrote, scrapped, just kept doing it. And at some point, I was just done, But it was very difficult because I wanted people to feel like they were in the dream. You know what I mean? Where you're like you're neck deep in a Wolfe work, and you're like,
Mhm.
am I awake anymore?
So we don't have a map. Let's
Mm-mm.
before we just jump back in.
Sure,
Let's lay out the scene one more time. So
sure.
now that we have both explored quite a bit,
We have a burning village.
Burning Village. That's
We
to
have we
your
have we have
behind and
armies
left.
approaching from one
Front.
direction. We have an
Burning
angel.
Village, back and left.
I had assumed originally that the angel had ascended above the village, but really he's outside the village.
Yes, he's outside the village, pretty much right in front of you.
Okay.
uh, so, but what does the village look like? What in comparison to where my father is, in comparison to the art, like where is everyone right now?
Okay, so don't close your eyes, but like I can.
I will open my third eye.
um, before you is the angel. He's shining big, bright blue. Big buff dude. Behind him, um, is a hill. It's gently sloping up. Let's say half mile.
Okay.
On top of that, looks like it's your dad's command team.
So
They're
did you
kind
have
of
to ride through the village to get to this point? If
you
the
kind of
if
went
the angel
around
is
it.
standing.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
So behind you to your left, so inside of your
My
whatever,
third eye.
yeah, whatever. Behind you to your left is the village. You came down the hill straight at Warlord Bastion and his orcs.
Mhm.
Um and So there's this kind of like gully, and then there's a hill directly behind you guys. So the hill, so off to the left and back is this gently declining slope, which goes into the town.
Mm.
Um, they have like a pond a, a little ways behind you guys for drainage. There's kind of a drainage pond, so that way, when the water comes down, it just goes that way.
Oh yeah, the shithole.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very tiny. It is there can't be anything more than like 300 people living in this place. Like, I mean, he basically went to the edge of like the kingdom and just started killing people,
Mm.
you know?
And
Because
so directly, but so behind me ish, and
ish.
inside is the town, and all
Yeah.
the village. All the people are essentially safe at this point. They've all gathered around this
The
big
angel.
angel.
Yeah.
And the angel is standing in front. He's sort of standing in between us and the hill on which my father and his commanders are standing. Correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the princess dismounts, and then she stands beside the angel as though they were equals, and she addresses the warlord, asking, "So, my father is infecting the hand that slaps his own people. What are you doing here?"
I all I came to do was save a village. I don't know what is going on here, but I can't. But I obviously my men can't stand by and watch the kingdom harm.
She says, "Then we are one mind. We, I believe that something big is coming, as Atu has warned me, and although I may not know what that is, I know that whatever we do next, we can only do together."
That might be, but I'm worried about the army in front of me.
I say I denounce the men who stand with my father. That corpse up there is no king. You can consider him to be passed on and dethroned. He acts outside of my family's reign and rule, and he besmirches my line. And so she says, we must continue as though this is a village we share, and perhaps at the end you'll find yourself with a new job, sir.
Well, I'm happy with my job right now, but perhaps your pet could help us take care of this fight right now.
I wonder how he feels.
Pet. This is an interesting choice
I
of
think
words.
she kind of like scowls, but we I think the first order of business is to make sure that corpse is in the ground, and then she says, Atu, what do you have any more to warn us about? You mentioned that something big was coming. Can we do anything to save these poor dirty commoners?
Atu says only a few words. He says, "Look where the army isn't."
Okay.
And you look and you realize that they're pulling back. A retreat horn has been sounded and they're pulling back, but they're, which is like for Warlord Bastion, this has gone from madness to a single point of reasonableness, because she just said that thing up there said that something big is coming. This completes a picture that you did not have all the puzzle pieces. You didn't have enough of the puzzle pieces to put together. He's not being crazy. He has something in his back pocket.
Can't it be both?
Well, okay, yes, it can be both, but like he's not just throwing himself around. He has something in his back pocket. And the longer you stay here, the quicker you'll find out what it is.
I think she says, let's come warlord, let's kill the man who would kill his people.
You can take the lead, princess.
I think she says, you have your gifts, I have mine. Use that sword of yours, and she jumps behind him once again on that wolf.
All right.
The wolf is quite uncomfortable.
Well, since their backs are exposed, we might as well kill the trailers. So we'll attack the retreating forces.
Okay. So you give the call, and they go. And as they're going, you hear another sound. I mean, Zelda fans. You know, are you guys Zelda fans?
Hey, listen.
Oh no, not that sound.
Okay,
we're getting there. You know, in Twilight Princess, when anytime anything from the Twilight realm makes a noise, and you realize that it sounds very, very, very wrong, like it sounds. Imagine that, but it was louder and deeper, and it was shaking the ground.
Okay.
No.
A wrong song.
A wrong song. It's this basso profundo, pixelated, digitized something that comes from the top of the hill. It sounds like someone has taken sound, has rearranged it into whatever they think a sound should be, and then just put it on full blast. It's one of the most disturbing noises. You didn't know that sound could sound like this.
So is it coming from the command tents at the top of the hill?
Yep, it's coming from the command tents at the top of the hill. Both of you would pick up disturbed level 1 condition. Now, this is part of where the whole defy thing comes in, because I'm telling you, your character's listening to this, your body, like it's sort of like that moment in Return of the King where the Nazgul start screaming, and the response isn't, oh, you don't like it. It's everyone's down on the ground holding their head, like, you know, they're trying to block it out, and they're, you know, like, your people fall. All of them fall immediately, flat on the ground. Orcs, men, trolls, it doesn't matter. That sound cannot be born. They cannot hear it without falling to the ground. Some of them are vomiting. Some of them have clearly shat themselves by now. More than a few of them are crying for their mothers.
What's my condition?
Disturbed 0-1. Now, you can defy this, and this is part of the back and forth of the game, because now I'm telling you something happens to your character, and you can either accept it, or you can go, no.
I have a D6 in willful.
Okay, so I think that's you're getting it. I like it. You're getting it, because it's not a case of you being like, I roll. It's, hold up, I have higher than average will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just anybody. You know, if someone with a D3 told me that, I'd laugh at them, and I tell them, no,
Sure.
you have a lower than average will, Absolutely not. So what do you got for a willful? She had. I mean, this is
I don't have
kind of the back.
Yeah, I'm not willful. I have endurance and I have leadership.
Oh, for your stats.
Yes.
You look
So
up at your.
how
Well, those
high
are my skills. For my stats, yeah, I do. I'm sorry, I do have willful. I have D4.
Yep.
I'm average.
Okay. You pick up disturbed D4 unless you defy.
Well, I will defy.
Okay, cool. So Princess Genevieve is like, I'm better than this sound.
I've heard bad music before. I've been to court.
Everyone else is like shitting themselves. You're like, I think I heard worse from the
I heard worse on the piano.
However, you would get hit by it. So here's what we do. You, and this is where things get kind of interesting. All right, so I tell you which stat you would use, which is willful D4. You pick a skill and an item, and you justify why you're picking those.
Okay, well, I've always trusted in fighting as a solution to most problems, and so I reach for my scimitar and and point it toward the front of the noise. Planning to the only way to stop this is through. So the only way out is through. So I'm going to fight my way through with my scimitar and my scimitar skills.
Okay, cool. That's kind of an interesting, like, kind of getting yourself into this fighting zone. I kind of like, okay, yeah, I can see that. So you grab a D8 for scimitar, and you grab a D4 for the actual scimitar, blood hilt.
Your D4.
D4.
So you have 2D4 and D8. Now you roll them.
All right. Is that a 10 or an 8? That's an 8.
That's an 8.
Do another one.
You're trying to beat 7.
Oh, you need another D4?
I need another D8.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, you're trying to equal or beat 7.
Here you go. This is the D8.
All right. Here we go.
We have 2 different dice here. This is the princess's dice. This is the warlord's dice.
Common. Like the warlord.
All right. So I've got a 11.
Okay,
4, 6, and 6, 1.
Common with
4,
blood
6.
stains.
So 4, 6,
4,
and
6,
1.
or no, 4, 1 or 6, 4.
Okay, so why do you think you deserve the top 2?
Top 2 dice.
Oh, well, because
the top 2 results.
Because I'm not a thinking man, and fear comes from thinking about what the cost of losing will be, and he doesn't really think about that kind of thing. And so, I mean, if he were to fight and it didn't work, then yeah, that things might change. But he hasn't even fought yet. He's got his sword. He's got ready to attack. And then
all right, sure. All right, so that's a 10. That's a 10 because of the top 2. However, your people are still flat on the ground.
But I have leadership. I do have leadership, and I will rally my people.
Before we do that, we have to hit the books, because every time you defy, you hit the books and a twist happens.
Okay.
So there's always a cost. Something always goes. That's okay. All right. Let me know when you guys are ready to go, because I've got.
Ready, set, go.
Oh, that can't be good.
That's not good. What did you hit?
I got leadership of the beleaguered forces around me.
I got failed his duty.
Failed his duty. I've got belief on future realization. So what we're gonna do? The people on the other side, oops. I didn't do that. I didn't drop my folder. Never do that. I have everything together all the time. The people on the other side didn't know So when the horn blasts, they run into you guys. They don't run like they were retreating, they rout. They're not fighting.
Mm-hmm.
They're running. So like horses falling over, like, you know, the horses throw people. His own people are freaking out as well, and they are running into your people. They're not fighting, right? Like it, not quite like before where it was like, oh, you know, everybody. No, this is like they didn't know that was going to happen. So people are running into you guys now, trying to get away from the sound.
Now they're running toward the angel. Is that
right? They're running towards the angel, but like they're running over your people to get to the angel to get away from the noise. So write down your character's impressions of that, and then we will. So there's just mass chaos going on right now as people are you can Warlord Bastion, you can tell that the people who are running, that no one on the other side knew this was coming. This was not anticipated at all.
Well, I still have to fight to get my people onto their wolves so they don't get trampled. It's
right.
They're basically in a stampede situation.
Right. Right. I mean, yes, because they're like, wait a minute, like this, and for Princess Genevieve, that's got to be something of a relief that as evil as these people were, they're not. I mean, because these soldiers are doing what the king commanded, so there's already some, you know, question as to their own morals. Excuse me.
Can't be trusted. Not one.
Not one, but they did not know this was coming. They didn't know about this. Whatever the king is doing, they didn't have anything to do with it.
Okay.
Not this.
We're just going to hold our position and let them run through us, but we have to get as many people onto their wolves so that they don't get run over.
Right. Let me take a look at
You
your
have to get off of the
leadership.
ground.
Let me take a look at your leadership skill right here. Your leadership's at D6. Oh man. This is an extraordinary situation. You don't lose as many people as someone in your situation would normally lose. They don't all respond to you. Some of them don't even hear you. They can't. You know, I mean, like a D6 means that like a D6 is higher than average. So instead of being like, hey, this is, you know, like a normal person would not be able, with leadership, would not be able to rally like this. They just wouldn't. If someone told me this with a D4, I would laugh at them and be like, nope, not happening.
But just here, and I'll say angel or actually thing, stand with us.
Ooh.
Monster.
He looks at you and he says, if I fight, you all die. It's a fact. He doesn't say it as a threat.
I just tell the warlord we must forward ourselves. The corpse is only mortal, and if we put him in the ground, then the whatever vile thing has announced its entry with a mockery of trumpets, it may cease its approaching also.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna put the princess onto my wolf and head forward toward the sound with the hoping that my troll guard will follow me.
Vronk comes with you because he's Vronk and he's your friend. The wolf won't go. The wolf refuses.
All right, well, let's go.
You guys are running through. I need agilities. What's your agilities? I don't remember it right now, and I don't want to look it up, and I want to get you used to looking.
D6.
D6. Okay, above average. All right. That's terrible.
4, average.
A 4. You get clipped. Bruise, level 1.
Okay.
So you get smacked because there's no. I mean, like you're running with him, right? So like he's making sure you don't like. And you've also got Vronk, who is, 12 feet tall and uglier than Shrek. So, some of this is going to be okay.
Can I tug on Brock's sleeve and say, "Pick me up"?
Ghost! Bronk no like!
Pigeon-livered coward.
Let the spirit ride with you.
Just picks you up very gingerly. What you'll find when you wake up later is that you have a really, really nasty bruise on your head.
Okay.
So, like, it's your dream form, but you wake up and your body has...
Yeah, die in the dream, die in real life.
Yeah. So he, like... Frank Carey. He gives you this look, Warlord's Bastion, like, do I really need to? Like...
All right, let's go.
He keeps going, but like he keeps like you could tell that he's trying not to throw you off, Genevieve. Like he's like,
I just have a clump of his hair in my hand.
Bronx hair cold. Bronx hair cold. You plow through.
There's no one there. They're all running the other direction. So.
Right, and then there's that. So you come up to the top. And by the time you get up to the top, sorry, my 1-year-old is calling for me. Daddy. So by the time you get up to the top, you can see the air, well, not Genevieve, because Genevieve's not physically present in the way that everyone else is. But everybody else can see their breath. It's getting cold. Not like kind of cold. Like, you're looking around and you're like, why did it drop like 20 degrees in like 5 minutes? Like, what? Standing there, holding this bit of flesh that you can't really, like, you can tell it's something fleshy, but you can't really, like, make out exactly what it is, your father. And he's standing there holding it aloft, and he's chanting something, and the noise you've been hearing is him. You thought it was a horn. It's not. It's your dad. Okay. And he's holding this thing aloft, and you realize that, like, you never really considered this before, but there's this darkness, like, like, I'm trying to think of a way to put it. A moment when you're, like, running in the dark and someone turns on a light, and there's a moment where you're blinded by it because it's just too much? Flip it. It's now this dark comes out above your head, and it's blinding because it's dark, but it's like this weird, but it's almost like someone turned on a light, except it's dark. It's like someone did something.
Is he holding something while chanting?
Yes, he's holding this weird fleshy thing. You can't quite make out what it is. Can't quite make it out.
So she is not going to wait for these so-called soldiers to take action, because that's led to nothing. She's going to take flight from the shoulder of this gigantuan.
You could end up with big scuffs on your knees when you wake up. You better.
And she's going to she's leapt from his shoulder, and she's targeting this object that in her father's hands.
Right. Burn level 2.
Ow.
Burned hands. You get your hands on it, and you go, it's so cold that it burns you. Like you can feel your form repel off it. Like you grab it, but you knock him over. And he goes, "Who's there? What?" And he drops it. He drops it, and for 1 second, you can see what it is. It's this odd blackish thing with inner, shot with like red veins, but it's pulsating.
Like a heart.
Kind of. Not quite. It's not a heart. It's this odd, misshapen, Lovecraftian, eldritch thing that's dunk-gunk, dunk-gunk.
I think she's going to take out her prayer book and hold it aloft, and she's going to cry out, "Atu, can you take it? Can you take it away?"
He says, "If I move, you all die."
Oh,
I take my scimitar and I poke it.
When you do that, it's like you got jolted with electricity. There's a shock when you touch it.
I think the princess immediately reacts, and Genevieve says, "You fool! Do not prod this strange pointy talisman. Use put that weapon to good use on this bastard."
Wow, you want me to kill your father?
He's no father of mine. He's a traitor.
He hears that.
But put this enemy in the ground.
He hears that. He stands up and he's pale. And he says, "Jenny?
You've gone mad."
No,
nothing. She just says, she's still emphatic. You've gone mad. Hurry.
I don't like that. I'm killing the king is a bit. I'm sorry, but one of my traits is honorable, and that's a big deal. I'm crossing the line right there.
I feel like we've already had this conversation.
Kill an unnamed king.
He's not a king anymore.
Okay, we're not really in that position yet. It looks to me like he's okay, and this thing is still ugly. I'm going to take my scimitar and just chop it in half.
Okay. The scimitar breaks.
Oh,
hold up.
that.
I'm not done. I'm not done. Blood hilt breaks, and the thing splits in half. And when it splits in half, the dark thing that was forming above you guys rushes into it. It's like watching a wine bottle in reverse. You know, when something pours out, it's like
a reverse tornado, or like a tornado
goes in. And then it claps shut. And your father, Genevieve, looks at it. He goes, "I was stopping him from coming back. No. And he reaches for it. He reaches for the thing that had just been cloven in two. He's reaching for it to grab at it again."
I've already burned my hands.
I'll just impose myself between them. That's like, that thing. Touching him, holding that thing has led to nothing good. So.
He falls on his knees and he says, "You don't understand. If I do not make this sacrifice, he will come. He will come."
This is not a sacrifice that anyone wants to have made, no matter what happens.
You say that.
I call out to Atu again, and I say, "Angel, explain. Is my father doing good or ill?"
Your father, Atu, shows up. And when he shows up, the look on your father's face is livid. He is livid with anger. He is enraged. And he says, You failed me. I wouldn't have been here if you hadn't have helped me." And Atu just looks at him and says, "I offered you a way forward. And this is what you picked. I am not here to... My task is not to present you with anything other than what the outsider has given me to give. I gave you your choice. And the king looks him right in the face and says, then everything that happens after this is on you. And the angel just looks at him and says, I gave you a choice. He looks at you, Genevieve, and he says, beneath our feet sleeps the one in the deep, a creature of eldritch horror that is far beyond your capability to understand. Your bloodline holds it down. Your father, instead of... He stops and he says, you are not queen. I am not allowed to tell you. But your father could have stopped this and he chose not to. I can tell you that much.
Who's queen?
Oh, my mother, she's useless. She hasn't even tried to talk this madman down. He's been losing his marbles for months now.
And there's this moment where he says, there's this moment where your father looks at you and says, but what he suggested was impossible. I couldn't do it.
What are our options here?
Well, all right, let me think about this, because we got 15 minutes left. This is a good, if this was a normal session of Crescendo, I would end it right here and I'd be the jackass for doing it. So I'm going to be a jackass. We're going to do it. So we cut there. What are our options here? Boom, black. At this point, we would go, now, if this was our first session of Crescendo, you've essentially played what is a more or less reasonable facsimile of a first session of Crescendo. There's a couple of little mechanics here and there that aren't in the game that work out nicely in the long run, but they're not good for a single session. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the session the way that a normal session of Crescendo would end. We would go through your beliefs, and we would discuss them, and then you would get what are called fate points.
Cool.
Fate points take this rather mean and twisted little engine that you guys have, been experimenting with, and it allows you to file the edges off, reducing margin on a margin of success or failure of rolls. With fate points, you can actually refuse conditions. You can go, no, I'm not taking that. Here, take these fate points. So it kind of closes the loop. So one at a time.
Do you add things to your die roll then, or?
It doesn't add things to the die rolls directly. It reduces the rate of failure.
Okay.
So which does an interesting thing. So if the two of you had ever come to odds, the defender inside of a defy, you have to the attacker has to beat the defender, not equal, beat. So the defender, if they have enough fate, can reduce the margin down to 0 and win.
Okay.
Things like that. If I smacked you in the face with a level 4 condition, if you had 4 fate, you'd be going, here's 4 fate. I don't get a condition.
Okay, so it's just another tool that you can use to get the ending that you want.
Right. The cost of fate points is normally that you hit the books after using them. Okay. However, if you spend double what's expected, you don't hit the books. So, I at one point had someone face down a god, and I was like, level 4 despair, you're facing a god. That's going to do a number. And her response was, here's 8 fate, here's double what I need. Not only do I not take the despair, but we don't even hit the books. I just stare the god down.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So that's
how does so we all come around, we talk about our beliefs, and so how is this going to work?
All right. One at a time. One of the two of you start by reading a belief.
Okay. I'll start. I once summoned to with a simple prayer. All one needs to do is ask for help.
You acted on that beautifully. Take a fate point.
Okay. One, I could have run away from the horde years ago, but I didn't. If you have no place to rest your head, you are worthless.
You acted on that beautifully. You not only did you not back down from the village, but you tried to save it because people need a place to live. Take a fate point.
Okay. Also, I didn't kill the king.
Also, you didn't kill the king.
I've had to endure being watched all my life. Appearances matter.
What do you think about that one?
I think the appearance of burning a town under your control is not good, and
Really?
it's enough.
That's bad form.
It is bad form. It's bad optics. It's bad enough optics that you no longer are worthy of being called king at that point.
And you acted upon that, and you caused trouble with it. Take a fate point.
All right. Number 2, Warlord Axel beat that's the warlord that I replaced. Yeah. Beat the females and children of his own horde. If I do not care for our own, we are no horde.
What do you think? Now that you've got kind of the
yeah, well,
now the taste.
I rescued a village from the king, and so yeah, I don't think that a warlord gets to do whatever he wants with his people.
There's your fate point. The third one.
My father once had to be convinced to stop beating a servant. One cannot just watch and let things progress.
I mean, make your case. My
father, king or no, once used his title for ill, and I will not stand by and let that happen.
And you didn't. You actually pushed forward and tried to get Bastion to kill him.
Right.
That's a fate point.
Okay. And King Julius has gone mad. Being a horde is not enough. Wow. That's itself.
It does. That's a fate point. So that's 3 fate points apiece. Now this doesn't always play out, because as you're playing over the course of a campaign, sometimes not every belief comes up.
Sure.
Sometimes your friendly neighborhood weaver is not on the top of his form and doesn't, construct a situation that people are reacting to. Sometimes the players aren't on top, and that's all fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't always get 3 fate points walking out of it, but sometimes you do. Sometimes you don't. If you guys hadn't acted on a belief, we would then go to a bonus round where we would ask whether or not you had gone against a belief, like very deliberately, because sometimes your friendly neighborhood weaver is a jerk and he makes acting upon beliefs a problem. Right. And so at that point it goes, okay, well, did you act against a belief very deliberately? And then you actually get more rewards for that. Since we're in the game also rewards PvP. It rewards players going after each other. Obviously, that didn't happen this time, but it could have. Had you been going against each other, you would have gotten fate points for how badly you hurt each other in the middle of the game.
Well, does it count that I defied her?
No, because you didn't put a you didn't put a condition on her.
Oh, okay.
Had you actually done damage, that would have netted you fate.
Yeah, but I didn't damage you.
Yeah, he didn't do it to you.
Oh, okay.
He didn't. You didn't go against her to the point of her getting hurt in any way, shape, or form. So, had you pushed it farther than that, you would have gotten a fate point. You would have gotten fate points for it, depending on how it worked out.
So now that we have fate points, what do we do with them?
So that's what later in a campaign we'd have a chance.
Oh, I see.
If something bad happened and we could use those, we could spend them. But so this game rewards conflict within the group rather. While generally that's a
plus.
Yeah.
It's a plus.
Definitely, this is something that would appeal to a lot of troublemakers in most campaigns.
And the thing that I found is that once you incentivize it, people, the thing is that it actually hurts to do it. So like it because recovery is a pain. The levels, that's the number of times you have to go and recover from the thing to get rid of it. So like I gave you a level 2 burned hands. That's 2 attempts you have to make. Like you have to go and narrate out 2 scenes where you are getting your hands treated.
Right.
No.
Which is really, 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 really a pain in the rear end.
Right.
So like people start to, on the one hand, it causes people who are team players to go after each other. But on the other hand, it restrains the people who would normally go after each other because there's actual consequences and it does hurt.
Right.
It takes time and effort to get rid of the conditions. So like everybody kind of starts to even out.
Right.
Because of how it's built. So and then the last reward would be me talking over my impressions of y'all's role playing and how I liked how that was going. I really enjoyed both of you. This is like the 3rd time I've played with these characters publicly, I think. Yeah, it's the 3rd time. No, it's not the 3rd time. It's the 2nd time, but I've played this, with these. And I really love how people put their own little spins on everybody. I really enjoyed the honorable Warlord Bass. Like there was a nice, no, I will not. So I would give you 3 fate points because you brought out something in that character that is there, but I never saw it. I never expected that, So I'd be like, yeah, that's 3 fate. And I really like how at the beginning of the session, Genevieve wasn't even really concerned about the town. Like that didn't even matter. Like it mattered later once she realized what was going on. But at first it was like, Dad's just being Dad. He's doing what needs to get done. So that would be another 3. And so we would kind of talk that through. So that's that's how the first session of Crescendo would work.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I thought it was really cool. I like how I liked the I like that being damaged is not is troublesome, but it isn't an immediate death.
Right.
It's very difficult in most tabletop RPGs to balance and make it so that your characters can continue to act and that they aren't unconscious, but they also feel that there is some sort of a negative that there are negative consequences that they have to deal with. So I mean, we talked about Dungeons and Dragons earlier. That's a difficulty rating in challenge. That is something that I would say most dungeon masters struggle with, and most modules have some sort of an issue with, is just balancing the game. So I liked that when I touched the object, I had a level 2 burn, which is, as you mentioned, very annoying. But what didn't mean that I could do nothing. I wasn't immediately knocked unconscious.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's a tricky system because you really have to buy in. If you don't buy in, the system is very hard to use. But if you buy in, it goes, oh, oh, cool. So what did you think, James?
Well, I like that it rewards conflict between the party, whereas normally you wouldn't want to do that because you're hurting their chance of ultimately getting treasure or reward. If you're gonna, so you can just meet a big goblin and insert sword, collect 2,000 experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that's kind of a interesting idea that kind of rewards behavior that would normally be very strongly discouraged.
Oh boy, yeah.
You would get where the game master would normally punish the player if he did it.
I like the journaling aspect as well. I think so. There are many role play games that utilize journal writing already, and
Oh yeah.
I think you could lean in even more into the journal writing. There could be, instead of having I mean, you could go further with it and have a table full of random prompts, or you have a vampire role play game that utilizes journal writing, and
1,000-Year-Old Vampire, I think it is.
And so, but yeah, I really love that aspect, and I like how you can use it to turn a session around, and I loved it. If anything, I want to see more of it.
The really cool thing about this mechanic, it's really hard to show off how cool this mechanic is in one session. It's almost impossible. It's I designed the game to improve over time. So one of the things that happens with the journals is that as time goes on, the story gets more specific, not less.
Right.
It actually funnels because people will start hitting. They will start hitting the same journal entries. Sometimes, I've actually had points in time where people will start programming their journals with certain subjects because they know they can. So, I had one player who really wanted to talk about a particularly large serpent that had randomly showed up. So he just started in every single journal entry that he came across. I wonder what the serpent would think of this, and everyone's like, "The serpent's not even involved." I know he wasn't, but I would like to know what he would have thought of that. I was like, "We know what you're doing," and he got a good 1.5 to 2 pages of just
serpent stuff.
Of serpent stuff that had nothing to do, and so we started hitting on that, and so the serpent, and I was like, okay, you know what, yeah, sure, the serpent shows up. So there's a lot of longevity to the design, because once I actually have a player who writes everything in poetry.
Oh, great! I love that.
She writes in poems. If you take a look at
couplets or
double, double lines.
Yeah, she's writing her ballad.
Yeah, she's actually doing that. She actually, one of her characters, if you go onto this channel, and if you take a look at the Dragon's Fire, that's who I'm talking about. Tasha will start talking in verse. She wasn't doing that at the beginning. She's just started to talk in verse.
Right.
She writes in verse. She thinks in verse. Everyone else is looking at her going, how? How are you doing this? Because she'll just set up rhymes. She'll have whole rhyming. People just start to do things. One of the playtesters, Prince of Nothing, who is a huge OSR blogger, I actually got him to try out the game. And his prose was just he wrote perfectly. Perfect prose every time. I'm sitting here writing out little chicken scratch. And
right.
The light of the moon struck the dryad's nose in just the right way. I'm like, I can't do that. I don't think like that, But anyway, so if this is something that Fig and James, but you're more into the scene. If this is something that you'd be interested in following up more, I can drop a link for the Discord. Because we host games weekly, and heck, we have a live stream that, in theory, happens as soon as I'm not sick and dying. It feels like chest congestion sucks when you have a CPAP. Oh yeah, it's been brutal. The last 2 weeks really has been really brutal. But anyway, so do you guys have any ending thoughts before we close up?
No, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Like it.
thank you so much for having us.
Of course, and thank you. I mean, I hope the more Wolfian nature of this jumped out as we were going, because I mean, I invited rereading with
Right.
Wolfe onto the, but that's kind of it's my only like. I wonder how that. I guess that's kind of my last question. What
it's interesting. Well, I mean, one thing about a Wolfe novel is that Gene Wolfe would basically offload a lot of the world building into the mind of the reader, and a lot of it, I liked it that okay, well, a lot of this of the story development is basically self-creating. So it's emergent and
highly.
Right.
Highly. Well, I appreciate y'all for coming on and trying it. Obviously, we keep in touch on Twitter and other stuff. But Fig, if you want to reach out, I'm findable. It's not that difficult. But yeah, thank you guys so much.
Brilliant.
This has been great. Thank you so much once again. It's been a real honor. Thanks you.
Thanks again, Nathan.
Of course. Thank you. Y'all have a good evening.
You too.